What's going on, YouTube? My name is Stefan. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Reckless Logic. I do not want to waste anybody's time. Let's get straight into the video. Alright, I have a commentary video for you guys today. I will be talking about I'll be talking about the friction between the LGBT community and the black community. That's going to be the topic of discussion for today. Now, before I get started, I just want to let you guys know, right down here below, I have my notes. So you see me go like this and read off a point. I have my notes just to make sure I do not skip a beat. Now, what I'm going to do first, I'm going to give you guys the little synopsis on what I'm going to be talking about, and then I'm going to get straight into my commentary. So let's get straight into it. Alrighty, so basically this video is going to be basically about the friction between the LGBT and the black community. So on one hand, we as the LGBT community, we feel like, you know, the black community does not support us the same way that we support them. Now let me explain that. When I say support, I mean as if when George Floyd has passed away, or when Sandra Bland passed away, or when Trayvon Martin passed away, LGBT folk were out there protesting, you know, chanting, and, you know, doing what needed to be done. But however, whenever someone that is part of the LGBT community goes, you know, passes away as well, we don't get that same treatment. We get, you know, other alternatives, put it that way. And on the other hand, the black community feels like every time there's a black issue that basically that stems around you being black, they feel like black LGBT folk complain. They feel like, you know, they always try to make it about themselves or about ourselves or whatever. And so that's basically what I'm going to be talking about. Basically, there's a disconnect between the two communities, and hopefully, well, not hopefully, in this video, there will be a lot of clarity when it comes down to why things are the way that they are. Hopefully I explained that good enough. Alright, so the first thing I want to say is that we are at war. Now, when I say war, do I think we're out there really with swords and stuff like that? No, but however, things has gotten violent. But however, what I am going to say is that for people who just don't seem to see it, for people who are just living under a rock, like I said before, we are at war. We are fighting many battles simultaneously at the same time. We're fighting racism, we're fighting homophobia, we're fighting transphobia, we're fighting patriarchy, we're fighting matriarchy, we're fighting all different types of things. Now, keep this in mind too. All black people are not fighting the same fight. So you may have individuals that are fighting racism and fighting, you know, patriarchy, but however, they're not fighting homophobia or transphobia, but however, are participating in homophobia, transphobia, and stuff like that. And the thing that we all have to get in our heads, that we have to protect all melanated people, all melanated individuals, because if we're all black, if we're all came from Africa, if we're all descendants from Africa, and we're all, you know, supposed to put our quote-unquote blackness first, then we have to protect all black people. And because it's something that we like to call intersectionality. Intersectionality means that, you know, basically you can be part of one particular group, let's just say, and you can be part of the black community, but however, you can also be part of a different community as well simultaneously. So for instance, there could be you could be part of the black community, but however, you can also be part of the LGBT community. Or you can also be like a black woman, because she's black, she's a woman, and say she's a lesbian. So also, not only are you black, not only are you a woman, but also you're part of the LGBT. That is what intersectionality means. Alright, so that means that we need to protect men, we need to protect women, we need to protect children and LGBT folks as well. And also we need to also, because I've also seen this too, I don't like it, is that when we have someone who isn't a part of our community, not all people do this, but when an individual's not part of a certain community and they're wanting to fight the fight with them, I have seen people turn those individuals away. And that's not what you want to do, because Because when you have individuals that are not part of your community or your group, and they want to fight the fight with you, you're going to need everybody to help you fight that fight. You're going to need people outside of your group to help fight that fight. Because remember, when Martin Luther King did his whole peaceful protest and all of that, not only were black people out there, there were Caucasian people out there as well. So with that being said, we're gonna need everybody. We're gonna need the mixed individuals, the Hispanics, the Caucasian people. We need everybody. As I feel like, as long as the individuals are genuine and pure with their intentions and are willing to, you know, be a asset to the movement, then yes, they can most definitely be a part of the movement and be able to push the movement forward. And I feel like this, because this is the reason why the issue comes up, is that even though we're fighting a war of racism, and that seems to be the biggest war when it comes down to black people as a whole, black people as a whole are fighting racism for the most part. And the thing is with that is that the other systems of homophobia, transphobia, patriarchy, matriarchy are the reason why we cannot come together to fight as one. And I feel like this, if the person isn't hurting anyone, then it should be okay. If it's not hurting no one, or if it's not, like, you know, going against, let's say, our basic human values, and you know that can be taken out of context out of some things, but our basic human values of actually doing damage to someone as in hurting them, then it should be cool. And oppression is oppression, and with oppression comes different systems. And these systems are xenophobia, fatphobia, racism, homophobia, transphobic, sexism. These are the systems that are put in place to create the hierarchy that we see in America today. So I ended up writing or drawing out a diagram, because I've noticed that, yeah, oppression is oppression, and with oppression, like I said before, comes with different systems with different definitions, but however, the pattern is still the same. So I'm gonna explain to you just right now. Alright, so before we get started, I'll give you guys, take a look. You see this bad boy right here, it says privilege. We're gonna define privilege before we start. So what is privilege? Privilege is a special right, advantage, or immunity granted or available only to a particular person or group. And right beside it, we have social privilege. Now, social privilege is a special unearned advantage or entitlement used to one's own benefit or to the detriment of others. These groups can be advantaged. Lost my point. Hold up. Okay, can be advantaged based on social class, age, disability, ethnic or racial category, gender identity, sexual orientation, and religion. So, like I said before, these systems of oppression all have the same effect. So, with privilege comes certain things that you don't have to go through, certain things that you don't have to endure, and it's basically a better, quote unquote, a better way you can walk through life, an easier way you can walk through life, because you don't have to worry about certain problems or certain things happening to you or certain experiences having to go through in life. So the reason why these systems occur is because instead of all of us really sticking by the saying of saying that we are all equal, even though that's very hypocritical, because America has once said every man is born equal, but yet you still had slaves. So if we really want to, if we wanted to stand by that actual saying of saying everybody's equal, we could all lift each other up and say, okay, we can all grab quote unquote privilege or the golden apple, and we could all be on the same level. But yet they use different systems to bring each other down and create different levels and create the hierarchy. So let me explain to you right now. Alright, so you have privilege, and then right here you have white men and white women. And you see on top of there, you have black men, black women. And we're asking yourself, why is white men on top of white women? Because women, the system that is used against women is sexism. And with sexism, that's basically discrimination and stuff like that against women because they think that they're women, you know, women should do this, that whole ordeal. So that is the system that is used against women by men to be put up under men. But however, you have men at the very top. Catch this. Classism is the system that is used to organize where the men are placed, because everybody can be at the upper part, but however, not everybody can be at the tip top. So classism, which is the system of your social class, basically your moolah, that is how you're going to determine with the man how high or how low in the tower that he goes, or the hierarchy that he goes, that he's ranked or whatever. So classism is what is used to organize white men, but however, sexism is what's organized white women to always be up under white men. So you have white men being like, I may be a white in America and she may be white, but however, I'm a man, she's a woman. So now we have right here black men and black women. Now with black men and black women, and you're wondering why is black women up under a man? Because guess what? Patriarchy, the system of patriarchy, which is very heavily influenced in the black community. Patriarchy is very heavily influenced in the black community. That's the reason why, you know, black men, that system is put in place to be above black women. Because patriarchy is basically saying, you know, the man is the head of the household, he's, you know, he has the final say, you know, when his foot goes down, you know, you're in trouble. That whole ideology of it. So you think of it, why and what, and put it in context too. Why is black women up under black men? First of all, why is black people up under white people? Because racism. That's the system that's being used for black people, is racism. And so put this in context as well, because remember, because black men weren't, in society's eyes, I'm gonna say it again, in society's eyes, black men weren't on the same level as white men. So keep this in mind, since white men felt like they were up here, black men were down here, because remember, black people were considered property, which made it easy for people to feel like they can disrespect them, dehumanize them, and do whatever they wanted with them without no empathy, without any compassion. Some of them had empathy. Some of them did have empathy. Some of them did have, you know, that whole deal. Whatever. But however, so you think about it. You have white men over here beating down the black man, dehumanizing the black man, raping the black man, you know, hurting the black man, and then the black man has to go home to his black women, and you know, he has the patriarchy, you know, he's frustrated, he feels some type of way, he has all this built up anger because he was just dehumanized and highly disrespected, and he's coming home, and you know, to his household where patriarchy is very dominant in his household. So now, since I may not be, you know, on the same level as the white man, but however, I'm above you, the black woman. So this is where the black woman would get raped, they would get beat by their black men because of the system of patriarchy and stuff like that. Now, the reason why there's a star right here, because there's other systems in place to, you know, like I said, organize where people go. So you have colorism, you have fat phobia, you have all types of things of organizing the rank structure of how high or how low somebody should be in the hierarchy, or being able to reach privilege or whatever. All right, so under there with LGBT, but keep this in mind too. You see how racism is over that whole part? Is because for some reason people think that, you know, LGBT is all really just all one. No, because racism is very much involved in LGBT as well, and homophobia is not only, you know, dealt with, and you know, the from heterosexuals, it's also dealt between, you know, trans people, LGBT folk. It's all in there. And you see where there's homophobia right here. You see why trans is at the bottom, because in society's eyes, trans are not, they're not human people. They're not people. They're looked as less than. They're looked as the bottom of the totem pole. They always get the last piece, which barely be none. They are I would say they would be the munchkin of the puppies or whatever. That's basically saying. They're all put at the bottom, basically. And so when you have lesbian, gays, bisexual people, not only do they have to deal from, you know, homophobia from heterosexual black people, and also racism, trans people have to deal with transphobia, because you have black LGBT that are transphobic toward trans people. Actually, I'm gonna start changing up these words so people can really get the full understanding and get the raw or cut feeling that I want you to feel. So let me just say it like this. Now you have, I'm a white man in America. She may be white as well, but however, I'm not a white bitch. Now you have, oh, I may not be a white man in America, but however, I am a white woman, but however, I'm not a nigger. Now you got the black man. Black man saying, oh, I may be, you know, not be a white woman in America, but however, I'm not a black bitch. Now it'll be like, oh, I may not be a black man in America, but however, I'm not a faggot. Now this one right here. Oh, I may not be, you know, a black man. I may not be a black woman, or, you know, but I'm not trying to be a man. I'm not trying to be a woman. I'm not trying to change my gender or my sex So that is how oppression works, is that when you quote unquote find something that makes you superior and make the other person inferior, then that is how you can make it seem like you have this, sometimes form this privilege. There is a divide between the LGBT and the black community. There's a division, there is a disconnect between the two, and we can use both perspectives. Both of these points are big points that I hear a lot, and not everybody says these points. Well, I'm gonna say on the black community side, not everybody says these points for the black heterosexual cisgender community. They don't say this a lot, but however, on the black LGBT portion, we do say this quite often because this is a big issue. Now, the point for the black LGBT is that when we are getting murdered, when we are getting killed, when we have injustice done to us because we are black and because we are part of the LGBT, where is the black heterosexual cisgender community? Where is the protest for us when we have been done wrong? And then for the black heterosexual cisgender community, that portion, they're like, where is the black LGBT when, you know, when there's injustice for when people have been done wrong because they are black? And what I'm gonna say to that is this, is that we do be out there. We are activists, we are advocates, we are active, we are protesting, and we do show out when we have to show. We do show up and show out when we have to. And the thing is with that is that you have no way of knowing who out there protesting and campaigning with you. You don't know everyone's out there. You can't see if everybody is gay because gay doesn't really have a particular look. Yes, I do understand that it's easier for some people to be spotted out, but however, not everybody in the LGBT is extremely feminine, or, you know, for females, not everybody in the LGBT for women is extremely masculine to be able to tell, okay, you're part of the LGBT, or okay. And that also goes for trans people too. Not everybody that's trans is is clockable, as we will say. So we do be out there, and we do show up, and we do show out. But the thing is that when it's time for us, when something's done to us, you know, we get the alternative. We get the you deserve it, you're going to hell, God doesn't like, you know, this this, that, and the third. Those are the responses that we get. But yet when you guys, you know, are going through your time, we're okay with George Floyd, okay, Sandra Bland, okay, Mike Brown, okay, Trayvon Martin. But when it's time for us, you know, we get the okay, God is doing his job. That's what we get. And I feel like when it comes down to Black Lives Matter. Now, and before I get into this, I am going to say this. I'm going to say is that I do understand that the Black Lives Matter Foundation, the organization, I do understand that it was founded, it was created for black people who have been done wrong with basically dealing with police brutality. I do understand that. But however, if I'm going to say it sends a lot of mixed signals. Because there's black LGBT that has been, you know, done wrong by the police as well. But I'm going to say this. I'm going to say it sends a lot of mixed signals. Now, when I say mixed signals, I'm not talking about from the organization itself. Actually, I'm going to say with the organization and with the people surrounding the organization. Because the organization, it may say, you know, thank you for standing with us, LGBT. Thank you for this. Thank you for that. They say those things. But however, the people surrounding that organization, or people that are involved, even people that are just on the street and, you know, they're black and they're, you know, just protesting, people that are involved, they have different responses that contradict or conflict with the message that Black Lives Matter is trying to send out. So Black Lives Matter may be like, you know, thank you LGBT for standing with us, and, you know, in this time of protest for George Floyd, or thank you LGBT community for standing with us in this time of Sandra Bland. But however, when it's time for us to get our, you know, equality or justice, because remember, intersectionality. So it's not that I'm a Caucasian LGBT folk, I'm a melanated LGBT folk. So when it's time for me to get my equality, because I've been done wrong on either being gay or either being black, we don't get that same response. We get, oh, you're going to hell, this is what you get, you know, God don't like ugly, da, 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 da. We get all of that. We get the nasty responses, we get the disrespect and stuff like that. So I feel like it sends a lot of mixed signals. So think of it like this. For those that bring it down to really simple. Break it down like this. That's like me saying yes, yes, yes. My mouth is saying yes, but my motion, my head is saying no. Or it's like, no, no. My mouth is saying no, but the way that I'm moving is saying yes. So it's like you're saying one thing, but however the actions around the foundation, the organization, because I'm not going to blame it on the organization, because I don't know exactly if the organization, you know, how they truly feel. But however, from what I see, I can say that it feels like the black community aren't willing to fight for us the same way that we're willing to fight for them. And it's kind of hard because, you know, like this goes back to the point of saying, where's the black LGBT when it's a black issue? Keep in mind, Black Lives Matter was founded by LGBT folk, and I've actually heard that it's actually founded by Caucasian people too. So with that being said, the people that you are outcasting, black LGBT plus Caucasian people, are the same people that founded Black Lives Matter. And that's the thing, that's the number one thing that us as melanated individuals use for when it's time for us to stand up against racism and, you know, injustice and stuff like that. And I just feel like us as melanated black individuals, we must be more active in this fight. Now, when I say in this fight, I mean fighting for all melanated individuals, not just fighting for cisgendered, heterosexual people. Fighting for all people. As long as they're not hurting nobody, they're not like. As long as they're not hurting nobody, you should be able to fight for them, because that's actually, it's kind of counterproductive, because it's like you are actually giving up soldiers that are willing to fight for you just because you don't understand something. The bottom line, us as melanated beings, our primary fight, whether you're part of the LGBT or you're part of the cisgender heterosexual world, our primary system that we need to fight against is racism. But however, we're not going to get rid of racism if we don't get rid of the other systems. Why? It's because we can't fight as one, because when we try to fight as one for racism and stuff like that, we get distracted because of homophobia. I'm not following no gay ass, I'm not following no faggot, I'm not following no sissy, I'm not following, or transphobia. Look at that tranny over there. Or we have toxic ideologies of patriarchy, of I'm the man, I gotta lead, I have to lead us to or the fear of matriarchy. Oh, that's a woman? No, she can't lead me nowhere. No, I'm the man, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. And then we have sexism on both ends, saying that, oh, you're a man, you gotta do this, or you're gonna do that. You have to bring in all the bread. You have to do this while I stay at the house and I do this because I was assigned this, because this is my sex, my gender, my sex and my gender. I'm supposed to take care of this. I'm supposed to do that, while you, because you're the different sex, you do this and you do that, instead of us working as a team. And we also have misogyny. Oh, you're a woman, you can't do that. Just stay in the background. Cook, clean. Stay in the kitchen. And then we have missander. And for those who don't know what missander is basically misogyny, but for men. Women against men. So you have missander of, oh no, that's a man. No, we got it. No, us as women, we got it. No, don't worry about it. We don't need no man in our life. We got it. So we can't fight as one because we get distracted by all these other systems that make it easy for racism to flourish, because what's the point of the majority trying to divide us and do what they want with us if we're going to do it ourselves with these other systems in place? And what people have to realize is that we will never be free until we're all free. And we cannot fight together as one because the systems are tearing us apart. Equal equality is for all minority groups. Everyone. So that's men, black men, Asian men, Caucasian men, the rich and the poor Caucasian men, all. If you're rich, you're poor, part of LGBT, everybody. Women, all demographic of women, all types of women. Children, LGBT, equal equality is what this channel's about. And I don't like it when I see inequality and stuff like that, and all minority groups deserve to be equal in a good way, not equal as we all treated like crap, but equal in a good way. And the last thing I'm gonna say before I get out of here is that people have to know we're gonna have to fight as one to be able to win as one. That is it for my commentary video for today, guys. Please, man, guys, pop that like button, hit the subscribe button, and please, please, please smack that notification bell so you do not miss any more posts from me. Until next time, guys, I will see you guys later.
Bitch. What? 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 What?